Hello and welcome to Brew Babes podcast. I am your host, Sassy Cider Chick, also known as Danielle Snicker. I'm just going to say that backwards today. It's be a par for the course. I am in studio. We have people joining us. We're on a new system. Let's just see how it goes. To my left is the girl who keeps us in check, who keeps us thinking positive thoughts when me and Kat are not so positive and a little bit jaded. You keep us in line. Taylor Woods, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so good today. It's
It
good
is
to be here.
so good seeing you in studio. For once, I'm not completely alone when we're all cross doing all this. And online, we have a special guest, which I will get to because we're all super excited about this, to where we have changed every platform we can to make this work. But I want to hear from the birthday girl herself, my beer life mate, the woman who makes marinara fountains that I did not get to see, Kat Jones. How are you, my dear birthday girl? Did you mute us? We're getting a text, which I can't open. I can't unmute myself.
And
She said she cannot
she
unmute
can't.
herself.
Okay, keep going.
All right. Well, we're just going to skip that. And
She had an
Kat,
awesome
she
birthday.
had an
Great
awesome birthday party.
marinara.
Yeah, because we've already done this once before, we know that the marinara fountain was a mess and she had an awesome birthday party. So I'll just answer for her. And she says hello to everybody. She looks beautiful and she's going to try to continue to unmute herself. But our special guest today is someone who is also very, very lovely. And we love having her on and we love talking to her. And we just love another badass woman in beer, Paloma from Florida Brewers Guild. How are you today?
Hi, ladies. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
I am so excited to have you on. There are so many cool things you probably know that we don't know. And, and you have learned to unmute yourself, so you're already ahead of some of us. But no, awesome. I have been to many, many different events with you. I always love working with you. You're an amazing woman in beer. And today we get to dive a little more into how that happened and what you're doing now. So I'm super excited. But first, you are with the Florida Brewers Guild. So if our listeners don't know what the Florida Brewers Guild is, which if you're in beer, you should know, but we do have a lot of enthusiasts, a lot of beer curious people. So tell us, what is the Florida Brewers Guild for those out there that don't know?
We are a nonprofit organization. We oversee the whole Florida, the name. We promote breweries and the craft beer culture in Florida, try to attract new customers to breweries, and we also promote networking between breweries.
Is awesome. And so if people don't know, there's like a little tin tacker sign that you will see at almost every brewery. There's tons of breweries that have it, but that little black, and I think it's silver, but it could be black and white because who knows? I don't see very well. And so when you see that little tin tacker, it'll say Florida Brewers Guild, and that means they are a member of the Florida Brewers Guild and they support the mission. One of the things that I have gotten involved in the Brewers Guild before in the past is because I was a lobbyist and I still do legislative advocacy. I don't get paid anymore, so I make sure to make it known that I am an advocate only. So I have worked with the Brewers Guild on one big thing, but we're not talking about that today. When it gets
Well,
closer to
thank you.
time. Yeah. No, when it gets closer to time, we'll delve into the more intricacies of legislation. But I have had the pleasure of working with the Brewers Guild in the past on legislation, which most people don't get to work with you guys on, but you do such good work for the breweries in the area. But how did you get involved in the Florida Brewers Guild? Like, how did you become the executive director? What's the
What's the
path there?
story?
What's the
Yeah.
story?
Ooh, you want to know from the beginning, from
Sure.
the start of times? This is how I start my story. It was a cold night in 1987.
It's awesome. I love that.
The country was in lockdown. My mom was no. So I used to live in Miami back in the day, and I love beer. The first, I think, craft beer that I tried was a stout, and I fell in love. I
Nice.
always figured it was because my love of coffee. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I got into the craft beer, and then I was so involved in the craft beer community in Miami that I decided to turn it into a job. I started as a bartender at a brewery in Miami, Lincoln's Beard, and then I had my mornings free since my kid went to school. So aside from sleeping, I was like, why don't I learn how to brew? So I asked the brewer at the time if I could help him, do like an internship. He didn't have to pay me. And he's like, "You're hired." He needed somebody. So I worked out. So I worked there for about a year. Then I moved to Tampa, where I live now. I've been wanting to move here for a while because there's so many breweries now. There was a lot of breweries then, there's even more now. But I came to work at Cigar City. I was the brewer there for, I think it was 3 years or so. And then I moved to Motorworks. So I was a brewer there for about a year. And when I was at Motorworks, I decided now I have more time since I didn't bartend anymore. I just like to do stuff all the time, I guess. I'm always busy. So I volunteered for the Florida Brewers Guild and I was a board member for about 2 years. And then the position for the executive director opened up and I left my other job. And then after working for a bit for free, because I was a board member still, then I got the job as
Right.
the executive director. So I've been doing this for maybe 2 years and a half or so, I think. 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so how has like I know some of the ins and outs on because I did work with the last people that were there and stuff like that because I have been involved in legislation since 2014. So long time. I see a big change in the activity of the Florida Brewers Guild. Are there things that you did to kind of like facilitate a little bit of change when you took over or I see so much more coming from there than just years past and like obviously I think, not to be biased, but I think women put a little better, a little more communication into the processes. So, were there things that like you were very focused on? This is things that I want to bring to help breweries.
One of my main, I guess, things that I wanted to work was communication and trying to communicate between our members, between our board members, and try to inform the public about what
Yeah.
we're doing in breweries. So that was my main focus when I came in.
No, and I definitely because I've seen the difference, so I
Good.
think you're doing
I'm
an
glad.
amazing job at that. So that is awesome. Now, you did say your first craft beer was a stout. Has your beer changed? Because you've brewed. So now, like, sometimes our first craft beer is not exactly what we're
Right.
drinking years
It
later.
evolves.
It evolves. What is something that maybe you didn't drink in the beginning that you drink now or are a fan of, or, can kind of at least appreciate a good brewed one of those types?
Now I mostly drink light lagers or lagers. So
Wow.
yeah, my taste has changed a lot.
I feel like that's kind of
Uh,
a journey everyone kind of takes. You start with like these very powerful something, and then we all just kind of end up
Yeah.
with something light and
I
easy
mean,
drinking.
maybe there's hope for me in the light lager arena. That's the one thing I always say. Like, I'll drink any beer, but I hate a light lager. I like lagers, like more like ambers and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, maybe there's still some stuff for me. Now, the Florida Brewers Guild does. You guys do how many events for the year? Like bigger events?
we have two big events, which is the Florida Craft Beer Fest that we do it here in Tampa, the beginning of Tampa Beer Week. And then we have our Florida Brewers Conference that for the past 2 years or 3 years, we have been moving it around
Yeah.
the state. So before it was only in Orlando, and then we moved it to, last year we did it in Tampa,
Mhm.
and this year we're doing it in Jacksonville.
That is awesome. Now, is it always? Because I know the dates. It's at the end of July. Is it always at the end of July?
Yes, we try to keep that schedule as it's a little bit slower for breweries here in Florida because it's summer. People are
Yeah.
staying indoors.
No, for sure. And I was at the last one in Tampa. I will be coming to see in Jacksonville. Tell us a little bit about the Brewers Guild because beer enthusiasts can go. If anyone who has been listening knows, our most enthusiastic enthusiast Mo goes every year. So it's not always people who work in the industry; it's people who love the industry. But tell us a little bit about what people would find at the Brewers Guild conference this year.
So we have a one full day of trade show. So we have different allied trade members coming in and just you can sample the products, you can get a giveaway. And we have 24 sessions. If you want to learn anything about beer, we have everything there. We also partner with the distilleries. The Florida Craft Spirits Association. So we have a couple panels about distilling,
Very cool.
and
That's always
we
fun.
have and then we have a couple panels that are about new things in the brewing industry, like NAs and THCs. So if
Oh,
you're like a home brewer and you want to learn more, or you're just an enthusiast and want to just hang out with brewers, it's a great way to connect and meet a lot of people.
that's awesome. I maybe I missed it. Was the NAs and stuff there last year?
We did have a THC last year, but I don't remember if we had a specific for NA.
Right. I think that's kind of new. I mean, I could have missed it though. Like I'm only one person. So, but no, I've done a lot of I did a lot of the classes last year. I thought they were so phenomenal because I do marketing a lot. There were so many really cool things, even just not, I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff for the process, but even just how to run your business and how to market and things like that. I think it's a phenomenal event. And if you're anywhere closely related to the beer industry, it's such a great event to go to. And then, we always like a good after party. So, there's some after parties that go along with it. But one of the things I did, because you get to kind of see it, we see a very like bubble in Tampa. So we kind of see everything through the bubble of, Tampa Bay eyes. But you do get to see breweries from all over the state. Obviously, people are talking about what is the future of beer moving forward. And you get to kind of see it from a different perspective than we do. Is there things that you're looking forward to future wise in the beer industry? Are there things you think that are going to be innovative? Like, what do you see beer kind of doing moving forward?
Well, I think a lot of breweries right now are trying to diversify their portfolio. So they're doing seltzers, they're doing TCs. So I see that growing a lot more to attract, more people, not only beer drinkers. Some are also partnering with distilleries, so they carry the products or they distiller themselves.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that I did not know a lot about distilling and how that related to the beer industry until I went to the conference last year. And there's so many different ways that breweries can be distilling. And I thought that was fascinating. Like that was something, like I had always kind of gone on that, well, you're either doing beer or you're doing spirits, but there is a
There's a
lot of
little gray
ways
area
to
in
do
those two.
those together. Just what is the one thing that you are looking forward to best at the conference? Like if you were an attendee, what would be your go-to?
So this year we have something different. We're gonna have a tattoo artist
That's
at the trade show doing. I know it's super silly, but
fun to do though. I mean,
tattoo related, like beer related tattoos, and I am so into that. So I'm really excited about that.
it's fun.
I mean, do you have to pre-make an appointment for this tattoo artist?
I'm still trying to figure it out how we're gonna work it, but it's probably a day off. We'll have a sign.
Like flash sale and you'll sign up, little
Yeah,
tattoo,
exactly.
put it on the
Okay.
wrist. I like it.
We're
Blogger life.
Good idea. On that, now on that.
right. This is it. Everybody is walking away in July with Logger Life somewhere tattooed on their body, which I think is
Little
awesome.
blogger life tramp stamp.
For someone who does not have a single tattoo, I'm very excited about this. Hi guys. Sorry, I'm back.
Hi. Yeah, she just said that and I was like, oh, like, no. Yeah, now we all have to have matching tattoos. Great.
I'm down. Most of mine are.
On my
babes,
face.
let's go.
You guys can tattoo my face in your.
Well,
Here.
I'm not doing a bear can on my face, but I probably won't do Logger Life either. Like the most ridiculous thing I do. Maybe we can get the tattoo artist to do a little Brew Babes, like yeah, I don't know. Women in beer, something that we can get.
Rosie the Riveter holding a beer.
I mean that would be
That.
Ideas.
expensive. she's got Taylor's like, call me, I have ideas. All right, Paloma, if you were to say what your beer story was, like, okay, like, and I get it, you were in Miami, you tried a stout, but like, what about the industry? Because we always talk about like the industry sucked me in. Like I kind of went, I tried a beer. For me, I worked on a 64-ounce growler and all of a sudden I fell in love. What is it that kind of sucked you into the industry? Like what keeps you here? What keeps you motivated? What about this industry, like just kind of speaks to you?
I think 100% is the people. It's the people and how we're all willing to help out each other and to just like anything, give a lending hand with everything, right? We're industry like no other. Every brewery help each other out, which is kind of what I liked. And we're all friends. And I'll tell you my recipes, you tell me yours, and it's like such a big collab between all of us. So I think and I think most of my friends are in the beer industry now. So yeah,
Makes
it's the people
friends.
for sure.
That is awesome. All right. We went over this in the last episode that there's a difference between your favorite beer and your go-to beer. If you're out and about, what's your go-to beer? Like just kind of out and about in the wild. What would be one of those beers that you just say like, hey, do you have this on tap? Your go-to beer.
I don't think I have a go-to beer. I
That's
know.
cool.
I was a brewer for so long. I
Right.
drank what we brewed. So wherever I go to breweries, I try their lagers wherever brewery we go. So
I'm
yeah,
one of those.
if I'm at a bar, I'm like, what lagers do you
What
have?
lagers do you
Right.
have? Do you always look for local? Like what is local?
Yeah, I try to. Yeah, if we go to bars, yeah.
I can get that. Yeah, I think you know what happens is because I'm so not a lager person that I don't have that choice. Like there's no like, oh, what's a light lager that's local? It's like I have to be very specific. So I do have I have a go-to, but and then like what's your favorite beer? And like I said, this is just like what is if you had any beer to just sit down and relax to on, some time off, what would that beer choice be?
Yeah.
I
Anything I have on hand. So yeah, really anything. I can think of a beer right now. I drink any lagers. I'm not. Yeah.
Oh, Paloma, you're being so impartial. You just love everybody's
Like,
beer,
no,
like,
right?
get it. She's not cracking there, Danielle. You're trying.
I try all the
Well,
time.
situation was a pool. What if,
What's your favorite poolside beverage?
but what if you're inside of a bar instead of outside of a bar?
You're going to Publix right now. What's your grab?
Yeah,
Miller High Life. Not just kidding.
we can edit some things out there.
You can leave it in. I don't know. Depends what lager they have in Publix. I don't know.
I don't know. There's not a lot of local loggers you see.
I
in
in
the six packs.
distribution.
Yeah.
I do think that
Yeah.
loggers are not in distribution as much. I think, and honestly, maybe this is a good PSA for breweries. There are not a lot of local light loggers that are in distribution, even locally or nationally, that are craft beer. I mean, obviously, you've got, like your Sierra Nevadas and stuff, but I don't even. Maybe I just don't see their light loggers a whole lot in some of the stores, but honestly, like we need more light loggers in distribution. I can't even believe those words are coming out of my mouth, by the way.
Light loggers.
I don't know. You're right. Yeah, we need more lagers.
We need more light loggers in
Craft
distribution.
loggers. Yeah, because
Craft
people like
loggers.
separate loggers from craft sometimes. I think in that whole
Yes.
industry, and they're like, "Oh, lager, that's just like
That's
lager."
beer,
And, like, I
yeah.
want a craft beverage. So yeah, like light loggers are craft, and we can have that.
Yeah, and we can have that. And I think that's probably very underserved in the distribution market. So, not saying the Florida Brewers Guild should take that up, but maybe, do a little push to your members like, hey guys, there's a little hole in the market. No, I know you guys you're there to help the brewers and, not tell them what to do. That's what we do. So
Think I've been very spoiled. Like I said, I work for breweries, so I get free beer. And my husband is also a brewer, so we get free beer.
Yeah,
So
you're stocked up, and it's all good.
And your friends work at breweries, so
And your
you get to
friends
hang
work
out
at
with your friends.
breweries.
You get more
and they
beer.
get me free beer.
Yeah, I got a Pilsner on the kegerator right now, actually. So you come on over.
Yeah. Not right now, though.
I think that's all of us. Like we work in the industry, so like it's like I always have like beer enthusiasts. Customers will come in and be like, "Well, I like the free ones; they taste better." And I get that. And it's like that's why I love craft beer because I drink so many free ones.
Yeah, I try to buy shirts from the breweries I go to support.
I do
too,
too.
Yeah, shirts
Yeah.
always.
It's like,
Yeah,
I
always.
usually don't take to go, but I drink there and then I take the merch, like the shirt.
Shirt
Always fun.
stickers.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I always try. I try to be as supportive as possible. Even when they're like, oh here, I always like we'll get like all of a sudden I'll be like, hey, let me tab out, and it's like $3. I'm like, come on, guys, so then I'll buy a T-shirt or something because everyone just loves each other, and that is awesome. It's one of the reasons we talk about how much we love the industry. But
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to seeing you in Jacksonville and seeing, everything. The Brewers Guild was so amazing last year. Is there any events that would be good for, because we do have people that don't necessarily aren't in the industry, but are there any like after events that would be something great for people who don't necessarily work in the industry and want to do all the training like Mo, but do want
And
to
hang
come and
out.
hang out with us?
Yeah, so we have events every night. On Monday the 27th, we're gonna go do, oh my God, I forgot the name. It's this awesome bar in Jacksonville. I will find the name. And then on Tuesday, we're gonna go to Myrtle Avenue Brewing. And Wednesday, we're gonna go to Manifest Distilling, do something different.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. On Monday night, we're going to Kickbacks Gastropub. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's insane.
Yeah.
No,
I've heard about it. I've never been, but I've heard about it.
I have heard about it.
Yeah, so we're gonna have our own taps, but the place itself has like over 100 beer
Oh.
taps, and then they have a basement that's kind of like a dungeon looking like with a storage, huge storage of beer. Like I was so amazed to find like more than 20 120s in there because I haven't seen them in such a long time. That used to be my go-to, and it's pretty cool. It's a cool bar, so we'll be there. The tickets for guests are only I think $25
Oh, okay, great.
for either event. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Even if you're not going to the car.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think it's great, I mean, obviously people in the area will be easier to go there, but there's some people that'll just want to come and I mean,
Make a trip out of it.
yeah, I mean, if you want to see a good after party, beer people have the best after parties. I mean,
Specifically, FBG has the best after parties.
yes.
And that's coming from somebody who does beer week stuff. Like my
Love
favorite,
that.
some of my favorite times I can barely remember are FBG hotel pool parties.
Man, the one at
Bigger than me.
Coppertail was so good last year. That was
Mhm.
awesome. And yeah, no, there's awesome, great
That
after parties.
karaoke, that was insane.
That was awesome.
That was a good one. All right. Well, I know that you are a busy woman and you have lots of things to do to get ready for everything in July and then everything else that the Brewers Guild does. Do you have any big things that we should be looking out for besides the conference that maybe should be on our radar? Or do you just have secrets that you can't tell us yet?
No secrets. I am working on putting a couple new festivals. So one in Jacksonville, we're working on one in November, another one in Fort Lauderdale in March, in February, and another one in Miami in April. So I'm trying to, I'm trying to be
Spread the
everywhere
love.
for that.
Yeah,
Spread
that's
the
great.
love, try to
That's
support the different
awesome.
areas, the state. Yeah.
That
Okay.
is
So yeah, just keep
awesome.
an eye on our Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, and then the website is normally you have a lot of stuff on there too. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. We have all been talking about it like for the whole week since you said yes. So definitely this was an exciting interview for us. We definitely wanted to hear your story and get that out there and learn more about the Brewers Guild. But we will definitely be seeing you in July, if not before that. But anything else in between there will just be extra special, but we will see you in July. Thank you so much for coming on, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, Paloma. We love you.
We love
Thanks.
you.
Love you too. Bye.
Guys.